I would just like to start this video off by saying I do not own any of the photos or footage in this video. Today I'd like to take a look back on N'Keal Harry and how he's done for the first few games this season. And as you may know, I did do a video on him a couple months back. And it's a little outdated, of course, because as the season goes on, things change. Obviously, all that stuff happens. But I think I'm seeing some things in the way we're using him that I think are worthy of making another video on. I'm going to break this video up into sections as well. I want to talk about some of the good things I've seen, and I want to talk about some of the bad things I've seen. Because I've seen some pretty good improvements, but I've also seen some really, really suspect things. First things first, I'd like to talk about the bad things I've seen in N'Keal Harry. And the first thing I'd like to talk about is yards after catch. And this was a real issue that I don't think should be an issue. And to me, this being an issue is really concerning. And here's the problem. Yards after catch for a guy as big as N'Keal Harry should be really easy. And especially in the way we've been using him to get open and using him in the plays is definitely something that depends on yards after catch, or else it will end up being a very ineffective thing. What I've been seeing N'Keal doing is I've been seeing him doing these short, maybe cuts about 5 yards out, maybe close to the marker or past the marker. And it's worked a few times, but he never gets yards after catch. He goes down way too easy. And this, again, is a huge issue. If you are like, let's see, how big is N'Keal Harry? I mean, if he's in like the mid 6 foot range, weighs 225 pounds, that somebody like that should be dragging cornerbacks and safeties. If he's going down so easy, then that's a real issue. And I think the competition he's going against, like, he was picked before DK freaking Metcalf. And DK Metcalf can get yards after catch. DK Metcalf is great at catching. I don't know what the issue is. It's really disappointing. The other real concerning thing I've seen out of N'Keal Harry is his catch radius. I think this one is a little more assumed than proven, because there haven't been a ton of examples of him dropping the ball in, suspicious ways so far, because he hasn't really been targeted that much. But a couple things. In one of the Broncos plays, it was like 3rd and 14, I believe, and he threw to N'Keal Harry, and N'Keal Harry was running the complete wrong route for the play. And that's the thing. Even with the wrong route, there was still a good chance he could have caught that football. And it didn't look like he tried, or it just seemed like he struggled. And it seems like the dude has a really, really limited catch radius. And that, again, for a 6'4", 225-pound guy is very concerning. And like I said, picked before DK Metcalf, before A.J. Brown. I mean, it's just a little suspect, because I think we picked him believing that he would end up being our number one deep threat wide receiver. We haven't used him in that way, okay? We haven't even given him enough playing time to really see what he can do, and that's partially towards injury. But even when he isn't, he struggles getting open, and has a limited catch radius and can't get yards after catch. Alright, enough with the bad. Let's talk about the good things I've seen. Obviously, I don't know if they outweigh the bad here. Only time will tell, but I have seen some good things. And first little thing I'd like to talk about is character. N'Keal Harry's been very good character-wise. He's been saying the spirit can't be broken, and he's still trying to work hard to become a better player, and I really respect that. The other thing I'd like to talk about is how they've been using him, and that is blocking. N'Keal Harry's been doing a lot of blocking, and this was very evident in the Baltimore Ravens game. I think N'Keal Harry showed us really what he could do blocking-wise, and yes, he did have a pretty big part of Damian Harris's pretty good run game. Obviously, he's not Damian Harris, but he really helped block, and especially on like running back screens, which Josh McDaniels, for whatever reason, loves to run this year. So he's been helping there. He's just been helping all around in the blocking field, and I think that's really good. The other thing is the short routes, and that's like slants, cuts, whatever you wanna call it, crossing routes, cutbacks, whatever you wanna call it. He's been doing a pretty good job getting separation. Like I said, the yards after a catch is a problem, but he has been doing really good getting separation there, and he has been catching the ball. In the first few games when he did catch the ball, this was in the Seahawks game. He got hit super hard a couple times, but he got back up for the first time, and then in the 49ers game, he got concussed. He couldn't even walk off the field in a straight line, but that's not his fault. That was a dirty play. I don't know how that wasn't a penalty. But anyways, he's been doing really, really good on those routes, and I think that's really good. That's a good way we can use him. The other thing is are the jet sweeps. He's really good at gaining separation on the jet sweeps and finding the open holes. I don't know really, it's not yards after a catch, but he has been finding holes, and he has doing fairly well, although we haven't really used him in the jet sweep game since probably the first couple games. I don't know for sure, but I think that was one of the big positives that stood out to me. Obviously, Isaiah Zuber came in and did really well on those jet sweeps. Alright guys, sorry about that. That was a little bit of a longer video than usual, but I hope you did enjoy nonetheless. And please feel free to comment down below if you want me to do anything. If you have any video ideas that I think I should do, I'm happy and very welcoming suggestions because it'll make the whole process easier for me. But that's about all I have to say on N'Keal Harry, and we'll see you in the next video.